describe it.
So this is this shrimp with a flat top, and the parasite is a eupogibia, and this one we can tell because it doesn't have any pleopods right here is a male, and we just pulled them out of the holes here in the mud, but the holes of a eupogibia we can tell which species because they're very carefully lined. And the eupogibia has 4 pleopods, that's what these are, and the male does, and the female has a little tiny one that we may or may not see today, but they lay their eggs on those, and they're not going to be reproductive at this time of year. But we have this parasite right here, and this is our bad one that's from Asia, and it's called Orthione, and what you see there is the big swollen side. So if you were a person that's like having a mid-sized dog attached under your armpit, you probably know. And then you can actually see a little bit of white there, and that's the male. So the big thing is the female, and the male is hanging on to the female right there. I'm going to roll it out, and there she is. I'm going to roll her out again, and that white spot wasn't the male like I just said. Ralph fooled me. So she's there, she doesn't have eggs in her, but she's there as a parasite, and if I tuck her back under there, and I'm going to do that just so that I can keep her, she'll stay there underneath the carapace of that shrimp. And the shrimp has a leg, the back legs can clean out the carapace on almost everything, but they can't get a hold of this isopod because the back side of the isopod, which is what I just showed you, this is the bottom of the isopod, that's the back side, is too slick for the legs to get a hold of. Okay, and so they just go in there and they're slipping across and can't do anything. Now, we're going to be looking at Neotripea, the ghost shrimp, and this is a female. Let me rinse it off real quick. And she has eggs. And we're really interested in this shrimp too, because they don't have a nasty parasite that's very abundant, and they produce lots of eggs per shrimp, but their populations are declining faster than the eupogibia populations. So the eupogibia populations are probably declining because that parasite is castrating the females, sucking so much blood that they can't lay eggs. But this one has a parasite of its own that doesn't seem to get very many of them. So if it has the parasite, it doesn't produce eggs. It only produces eggs if it doesn't have the parasite. But this one's parasite is so rare that we don't, that it's not really a big problem for the population. Now the Neotripea carapace is really slick, and it's pink, and it has really different sized claws. Eupogibia has about the same size claws, and it's a different shape, and doesn't have, it has this rough top, and these have a very smooth top, so they're easy to tell. And the Neotripea have only 3 pleopods. And then there's also, this one's a female, and you can't really see the this 4th pleopod. It's because it's buried in an egg mass.
You don't have to worry about it because of so many eggs.
Yeah. And so we're going to be looking for this shrimp, and we're going to get a lot of them, and we're going to try to measure them and see if they have eggs, and we're going to note whether they have a parasite.
How are they going to measure them?
And we're going to measure them, and all of you carry in your back pocket, just like me, I assume, calipers. So this is a caliper, and it measures in millimeters because we're scientific here, and that the pointer points at how many millimeters. So that's 1 millimeter and 2, and then all these points in between are tenths of a millimeter. Okay, so I can measure this shrimp from the tip of its rostrum, which is right here in front of the eyes, to the back of the carapace, the back end of the carapace, back here, right? So you can see it right there. And this shrimp's carapace is 9.5 millimeters long.